how Frieza and King Cold showed up on Earth and Trunks completely murdered them? Well, what would happen if King Cold survived but Frieza still died? King Cold would simply transform into his final form, and its sheer raw power would decimate Trunks and everybody there. And by the time Goku got there, King Cold would murder him. King Cold, saddened by the loss of his son, would then take over the Earth and then move out into the universe. And inspired by the heroes he had just slaughtered, he figured that it's a good way to stay in shape and he craves a good battle. So he begins training and evolving his forms. However, this also makes a little bit of a misplaced timeline. The time that it would have took from King Cold time to Majin Buu, that's what happens, but I'll have to explain in a minute. It takes longer for Cell to grow because of something, but King Cold eventually comes across Majin Buu. He is terrified of Majin Buu, and Majin Buu has not woken up. So he comes back to Earth and starts to utilize the time chamber and spends about 3 days, which is 3 years in the time world, in there and begins training. He comes out feeling ready to fight Majin Buu. At first he is terrified, but when he realizes his base 5th form is completely decimating Majin Buu, he goes golden and murders Majin Buu. King Cold then leaves Earth again after feeling his own ego. After that, there is an emergence of a new being willing to challenge King Cold. However, it is Cell, but a slightly altered version. This one is made by Dr. Gero, yes, but the other androids are there, and they are made as like backup. Like, say his arm gets blown off, well, they're like backup. And this is more of a heroic one because the Red Room and Army are standing up for humanity. And this Cell is slightly different than the one we know, and is seen more as a hero than a perfect a-hole. But eventually, King Cold does return to Earth after the Red Ribbon Army makes their mockery of King Cold and challenges him. So King Cold shows up, and since Cell is got everyone's DNA, including King Cold's, he transforms into his own new form, which is slightly different than the one we know, and begins battling King Cold. King Cold, in his 5th form, is able to keep up with him, but is losing. They then both go golden, which again is a pretty even battle, and King Cold could be losing until King Cold mutates into a 6th form, which Cell has no chance at, even with the androids helping. King Cold takes them out and destroys what was left of the humanity resistance. King Cold then hears of Beerus waking up. However, he is not a Saiyan, but he plans to take over as the role of God Destruction to demand the respect Beerus does. So he comes to Beerus and begins training under him, learning God Ki, which shoots his power up way more. However, Champa still wants the Universe 6 vs. 7 tournament, so King Cold gets his finest warriors, Zarbon, Dodoria, not Zarbon, himself, and some of the Ginyu Force, aside from Guldo. Well, maybe Bird. Basically, everyone but one of the Ginyu Force is in the Universe 6-7 tournament, and... Sorry, I needed a drink. I've recorded 4 videos. But, everyone there has been, it's in the tournament. King Cold goes first and decimates the entire team because he's just tapped into God Ki. Even Destruction Ki. After that, Zamasu would actually still not take over anyone's body because he sees that if King Cold can make his way into the godly ranks, he can do a justice system that Zamasu would be approving of. So Zamasu approaches him and attempts to be like, hey, we could team up. King Cold kills him on the spot, snaps his neck. After that, King Cold then moves on to the Tournament of Power offer, which was introduced to him by somebody else. King Cold decides that it'd be a good idea and begins training his men and summons back some Saiyans. King Cold then immediately, by entering the Tournament of Power, uses his death ball and destroys the entire arena, or most of it. And him and his team just outlast Jiren. There's no way for King Cold to overpower Jiren, even in God Key enhanced Golden 6 form. But they win, and King Cold wishes to bring the universes back, but as the one supreme God of destruction, which still falls in line with the wish that was granted. So now King Cold is now the supreme God of destruction. Moro and Granola show up, but they're dealt with by the Pride Troopers, as King Cold has connected the multiverse. Like, Universe 7 is now just a hop skipping away from Universe 6. They don't need, like, universal transport cubes anymore. So, yeah, King Cold becomes a god of destruction. That would be what would happen if he survived.